Donald Trump had a disastrous landing back to Washington, D.C. after getting booed mercilessly in New Jersey for the World Cup final. I did a video on him getting booed yesterday on the tarmac. Donald Trump was asked, you said this catastrophic war in Iran was only going to last 4 to 5 weeks. I think you actually said early on it would only be a few days, but clearly we're now deep into 5 months of this. So what's going on here? And then Donald Trump's like, it's a much deeper job than we expected. So we're going to stop them from having capabilities. And now we're just going to end it. Okay. What are you even talking about? And now the at least publicly reported casualty count is increasing. We know at least 3 additional service members were killed in a strike to Jordan a few days back. I believe the number is actually higher than that. There were dozens of troops injured. The total injured since the war began publicly being reported somewhere around 450 to 500 injured. I believe the number is actually multiples of that, and it's being covered up. But here's what Trump said on the tarmac. Let's play it.
Well, you keep hitting me. This is a far bigger job that we're doing. We were doing a little job at stopping them from having a certain capability. Now we're just ending it. So it's really not the same thing. What we're doing now is we're ending any chance where they could have a nuclear missile. If you look at it, after a week and a half, not 4 weeks, a week and a half, 2 weeks, we stopped them from probably, but I don't want to have the word probably. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Then Donald Trump goes back to saying Iran lost everything militarily. They've got nothing. They don't have missiles. They don't have helicopters. They're dead. They're begging for a deal when we know the opposite is true. This is just so utterly pathetic, given everything we're seeing. Iran's precision capabilities in these ballistics and Shaheeds has been demonstrated every damn day. We have I'll do a video on this as well. We have whistleblowers in the military leaking out that America's running out of munitions, that America's not capable of sustaining this war. I wonder why Donald Trump bankrupted everything that he touched in his life. Here, play this clip.
Well, we feel very badly, but you know, those great people, those great patriots were out there fighting that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Iran has been very, very badly damaged. They've lost everything almost militarily. They've got very little left. They've got some missiles. They've got some drones. They've got some manufacturing ability, not much. We control the strait. They don't control anything. So we'll see what happens. But we hit them very hard again tonight. And we did that in honor of the probably 3. It's probably 3 as opposed to 2. Great patriots.
Then Donald Trump was asked, so what was it like when you were at the World Cup and Spain won? Obviously, you've been saying horrific things about Spain and Pedro Sanchez, the prime minister of Spain, the Spanish people. You've been attacking. The whole thing you did in NATO was attack Spain. So when you were face to face and you confronted their leadership and the people, you were at the World Cup, how did it go? Here, play this clip.
Spain. Well, I did. I spoke to Spain. And I congratulated them on having a great team. I really spoke to a lot of people.
Not tension with Spain.
No, I have no tension. I have no tension with anybody.
That's also one of the things I say about Trump that just makes him so pathetic. You know, this keyboard warrior, you know, types, Spain this, Spain that. You know, he says these things to Mark Rutte, the Secretary General. You know, kick him out, Mark. Kick him out. I don't like Spain. Then you go right in front of their face and you can't say it to their face. And again, think about the psychological, pathological profile of Donald Trump and how weak, you know, the Iranian leadership view him as. For Iran, this is like, wow. America's been threatening us for so long, and now we've got this idiot who bankrupts everything, who's out there lying and defrauding the American people, like defrauding everybody. Like this is a chance to have massive victory, and we're seeing that play out as the reality. While Donald Trump tells state regime, "We're winning, we blew him up, we've obliterated him." All right, well, what about Prime Minister Carney? Because you've been making lots of posts there, Donald, saying that you're going to sanction Canada for its climate-related wildfires. You're not helping out with the wildfires. Here's what Donald Trump says when he's asked about that. Let's play this clip.
Well, it went good, but I told him, I mean, you got to stop these fires from coming in and poisoning our air. Our air has been poisoned. I have a good relationship with Mark Carney, but we got to stop the fires up there. If we can help them, we'll help them. But maybe they should pay us some damages or something, or we should do some tariffs. But it was terrible. I mean, you had businesses closing. In particular, Michigan. If you look at Detroit, Michigan area, they had to close everything. They had to close car plants and a lot of other things. So I've never remembered this happening. Over the last 4 or 5 years, you saw it starting to take place. I've never remembered it happening before.
All right. Well, what about the consequences for China, Donald? Because you held a press conference at the end of last week, a deranged national address, you were calling it, where you blamed China for interfering with the 2020 election, although when you actually looked at the documents, it was not exactly what you said they were. And in other words, you totally lied. And then even like your people who were there were like, yeah, this doesn't change the election. He's like, we don't know what he's talking about. It was like the most deranged thing, but okay. You're blaming China, but you're posting like love photos of you and Xi Jinping all the time on your social media platform. So what's going on there? Here, play this clip of him.
What are the consequences for China for meddling in U.S. elections after your...
Well, we're going to see. We'll be speaking to them. We'll be seeing.
And sir, could I ask?
Then Donald Trump continues to talk about the wildfires in Canada. Let's play it.
I did. Well, I was just saying I gave an answer here. I spoke to him about it. I said, you got to get it stopped. It's really forest management, and they should know how to do that. If you go back 4 or 5 years, I don't remember ever having a problem like this, and we do have that problem.
Notably, Marco Rubio held a small presser yesterday as well last night. And Marco Rubio's like, we're always open to diplomacy with Iran. We're always interesting, Rubio, objectively, Iran is destroying the American military bases in the region. I mean, what the Jordans, their multiple bases are getting pounded. The U.S. has had to move most of its equipment to Israel. Isn't that fascinating? To all the Arab nations out there, that the United States has given Israel the Iron Dome protection. But when it comes to the Arab nations, you thought you were getting the security umbrella? And Iran sees what's going on. And so Iran's like, got it. The vulnerabilities are in these Arab nations that enable the Trump regime. So we're going to hit these Jordan bases hard. We're going to hit these Kuwaiti bases hard. We'll hit Saudi Arabia hard as well. Do some warning shots. We'll hit it hard, but let Saudi Arabia know we could do more. UAE, Bahrain, Qatar, Al Udeid. Destroying the equipment, billions of dollars in the past 9 days. Here's what Rubio had to say. Play this clip.
What I will say is that the United States always remains open to a diplomatic solution. We've tried multiple times with Iran, and we'll continue to try. If that door opens, we'll be happy to see it open. But and they continue to send signals that they want to talk, that they want to negotiate. But their behavior is what we're responding to. And their behavior is they're launching missiles and drones against ships, including tonight.
What recent signals have you heard from the Iranians that they want to negotiate?
Directly and through multiple channels to other countries as well. They continue to send signals that way. But look, I also think it's growing apparent that even within their own system, there's a growing split. I think maybe some of your outlets have documented this. Between those that understand that their economy is in shambles and they need to do something, or they're going to be in a lot of trouble very soon, economically, domestically, and others who are very militant in their view of life and in their view of the world and continue to launch missiles. So they'll have to work out that split internally. We're going to continue to respond. If the door opens to diplomacy, if the guys that want to do something productive for Iran win and take control of that system or take control of the negotiations, that'll be a very positive development. That's not where we are tonight, unfortunately.
So then CENTCOM makes this post right here. CENTCOM ends weekend wave of strikes against Iran. Well, you think this like an episode of The Apprentice? Well, first off, we should not be involved in this catastrophic and unlawful war. But isn't it odd that they announce it like it's an episode? The strikes are beginning. The strikes are ending. Roll the credits. Well, in this dystopian, sick world of the Trump regime, the credits that are rolled are now the American soldiers who died as a result of Donald Trump. Donald Trump's like, this is what they wanted to do their whole life. They wanted to sacrifice for a war in Iran so Donald Trump can manipulate the markets. Sad. My heart goes out to everyone. All the service members who have died, all the people in the Middle East who have died because of Donald Trump's senseless, catastrophic war. Horrible, horrible stuff. Iran's Revolutionary Guard announcing that it hit 2 oil tankers that intended to transit through the non-IRGC controlled route. 2 more oil tankers hit. Also, this is notable too. The IRGC issued this statement: to the honorable people and valiant soldiers of Jordan, we thank you for your sincere cooperation and accurate information which enabled our Muslim fighters to precisely target and destroy 20 hangars housing the U.S. child-killing army forces in the Al-Azraq region, resulting in the deaths of dozens of American terrorist forces. They also claim to have destroyed multiple U.S. military aircraft at Aqaba Airport in Jordan. I know the destruction of the aircraft in Aqaba. We know the destruction of Al-Muwafqa. There is Prince Faisal, the numerous bases there, Pit Harbor, showed you that stuff. The dozens, Iran says dozens, that has not been confirmed yet, but we do know that there has been, 17 service members in total killed since the war began. One also killed in northern Iraq recently as well. They said because an Iranian drone exploded when the U.S. was trying to do a controlled detonation. I'm not buying that story, but I am buying that a service member was killed. Iran hitting hard Bahrain, Kuwait, Erbil, Iraq. All morning flights to Kuwait are on hold. Kuwaiti airspace is shut down. The price of Brent crude oil up 3%, reaching $90 a barrel right now. Expect the national average gas price to hit $4 a gallon again. But Energy Secretary Chris Wright says, nothing to see here, folks. Chris Wright says oil is moving through the Strait of Hormuz. That's my Chris Wright impression. Oil's moving through the Strait of Hormuz despite the fighting. We're doing 14 million barrels a day. It's going amazing. We control the Strait of Hormuz, everybody. Aren't these the biggest clowns? By the way, the book, WTF America, The Way Out of This Hell and Back to Democracy. Pre-order it right now. Hit the QR code and check it out. I dedicate it to you. I dedicate it to the Midas Mighty. And the idea is what WTF? You don't control the Strait of Hormuz. The Iran's military is not destroyed. And then on Fox, you'll have Maria Bartiromo. She'll be like, I don't get it. We obliterated them. Where's the weapons coming from? I don't know. Maybe it's because Donald Trump lies about everything and we didn't obliterate them. And they have thousands of ballistic missiles, tens of thousands of Shahid drones. They're planning this out in Iran. I know that Fox and Trump, you want to act like these are like cavemen, who are out there just screaming Allah Akbar or whatever racist stereotype you're trying to do. This is a very sophisticated, savvy, brilliant culture, a proud culture that is planning and is strategizing every step of the way, while Donald Trump is, I'm going to do this today. I'm going to do that today. Nah, there's a deal. Nah, it's incredibly pathetic. Also, you have the Iran-aligned militia, the Islamic Resistance in Iraq, warning it will soon be resuming attacks on American interests in that region. So the war will spread to Iraq as well. Also, the IRGC, I forgot to mention this before, says a large C-17 transport aircraft, a P-8 command and control aircraft was hit in Aqaba, and more MQ-9 Reaper drones were shot down as well. And Iran's like, dude, we're just getting started here. All right, so we got for you. Hit subscribe. 7 million subscribers. Do me a favor. Can you put in the comments WTF if you've done a pre-order? In the comments, do WTF. And then I'll be like, cool. Thank you. Thanks for watching.
Breaking news right now, my brothers and I wrote a book. It's called WTF America. And well, doesn't that just say it all? It comes out officially this October, but you can pre-order your copy today. Just scan the QR code or click the link in the description below.